There are a couple issues, not necessarily concerns, but issues around that, around Facebook being kind of a major hub of news for so many people. The way Facebook basically figures out you want to see something is because you've seen other things like that, right? So you're going to be fed all the things that you already care about. And you see this on a regular basis where you'll have, in some ways, the whole Bernie Sanders phenomenon was fueled by this, because if you think a certain way, that's what you're going to see in your social media feed. So that's your world, and you sort of think everyone thinks that way, but everyone doesn't think that way. And I think the same thing probably happens with Trump, that if you are in that camp, all of a sudden your Facebook feed is filled with people who kind of believe in Trump, and you think that's normal and that's the way the world is. Well, that's not the way the world is. That's the way your little slice of the world that's presented to you by algorithms that have figured out what you care about. That's that world, but that's not the real world. There's a much broader world out there. Broadsheet newspapers with the Globe and Mail and the Vancouver Sun and the New York Times still to this day present, but certainly used to present when you got the newspaper on your doorstep and you brought it in and you read it over breakfast, was you couldn't get away from the other stories. Now, you didn't have to read them, but you likely would at least read the headlines, and you might see some information about a country you never even heard of, or a part of the world, or an issue, or if you've never thought about global health and you haven't liked things around global health on Facebook, you wouldn't necessarily know about an emerging pathogen, but it would be in the newspapers. The drawback is that you're beholden to them, right? This is what they think is important and interesting, and take it or leave it. That's all you get, right? So there's that drawback. But the benefit of it is that you are exposed to a broad range of stories in a way you kind of aren't these days, through these algorithms that are essentially feeding you what you want to be fed.